we've spoken about the cost of living in a motorhome before, but we've never really done a full review. Well, we're going to put that right by starting on the 1st of September 2019, which was a couple of weeks ago. We started to record in a little system that I built on my laptop, all of the costs and categorizing those costs into things like groceries, entertainment, laundry, maintenance, and that sort of thing. And we can expand on those categories as we need to, and then report back on them so that we'll know what diesel costs us for the whole year or for a month, or whatever we choose to do. Now, we've never really recorded the entire cost of living in a motorhome the way we do, and I know it's going to be different for everybody, and I think that's one of the reasons that we really haven't done that sort of, well, what does it cost, how much diesel do we use, and that sort of thing, because the diesel we use is going to be entirely dependent upon how far we travel, my driving style, the terrain we're driving over, the traffic that we have to deal with, and and the cost of that fluctuates anyway. So it can be helpful for us to record that and report that back to you guys, but it's only going to be a little guide for what it might cost. Our lifestyle is our own. Yours might be different, probably will be different. You might go out more for meals and drink less alcohol. You might drink more alcohol than we do and go out for more meals than we do. So costs go up, and the more you do different things, the wider the spread of lifestyle becomes. For instance, we never go to the cinema, but you might go twice a week. Who knows? And that can be a big living expense. You might only live in the UK and not travel into Europe, so you don't have those channel tunnel or ferry crossings to pay for. September, our current month, and the first month we're starting to fully record our spend and our living cost for living in a motorhome, has been an extraordinarily expensive month. For example, we've taken 2 ferries to get to Sweden, which have cost almost £250. That's just to get here. Then there's been the diesel, and what I can tell you is that the diesel also cost us about £250. So it's cost us like £500 just to get to Sweden, and that's not including the ferry cost or the channel tunnel cost, which adds another £100 to get from England to Calais. But here's a little, I'm going to just switch on the screen recording now. So here's a little screen recording of the system that I'm using, and you can see that it's a monthly living cost system, and I've got 2 reports here, monthly report and a category report. But let's just have a look at the category report. You see camping charges, and I've included the ferry costs in the camping charges, so you can see that we've booked into a campsite for a couple of weeks, and that's cost £295 or 3,500 Swedish crowns at the current exchange rate, and so on. So diesel £260, their entertainment, things like pizza and having beers in a bar. Gas so far this month has cost us, because we filled up with gas before we sort of got settled, and groceries currently £195 almost. So laundry, we did spend out on a little bit of laundry to wash those bigger things, and I've put you might remember in an old video we did a camper clean, toilet cassette cleaning, and I've put that under the category of maintenance. So all of the sort of maintenance things will go under that category, and I can expand the categories as and when I need to, but also we'll have a similar report for monthly, so we'll know. I mean, this month so far it's cost about £1,000, so that's an extraordinarily expensive month. We wouldn't normally do that, and we're less than 2 weeks in to September. Now obviously the cost will start to flatten out as we go forward, and bearing in mind this is only the first little chunk of the month, and we've done a lot of traveling, so we've driven over 1,000 miles to get to where we are right now as I'm recording this. But we're here for a couple of weeks, so we won't be spending any more money on ferries and travel costs and diesel. The site includes electric hookup, so we are using the electric hookup, although we wouldn't necessarily need to. It's quite sunny up here at the moment, but we're using that electric hookup so that we don't use any of the gas. The electric hookup is included, and we're not using any gas at all. So those sort of things you need to sort of take into account. So if you've paid for electric hookup, don't use the gas. Why would you? Because that's an extra expense for you. Your lifestyle might well be different to ours, and things like going out to the cinema, or going out for meals, or going to pubs and bars, and whatever else you do, entertainment that you pay for, will of course be different for everybody. We never go to the cinema, for example. We occasionally go to the theatre, that sort of thing, but it's going to be different. So these living expense costs are going to be very different for everybody, but I'm hoping that this is going to give you a bit of a guide. I'm just looking up the monthly report to give you an accurate figure. So this month so far, £1,071.30, it as in daily expenditure, but that does include the sort of nearly £300 for camping charges, £240 for ferry crossings, and £260 for diesel to get here. So there's, what is that? Was that £300, £500, £700 or £800 in total for those sort of travel and camping costs, and that would have been more had we stayed at campsites on the way. We paid out for one 50 Swedish crowns at the motorhome dealership, which turned out to be just about £4, £4.20 or something like that. So you can flex your lifestyle to either expand your spend or control your spend to a lower amount a bit more. But we're going to be reporting on this for you as we go forward. We are going to include, when it comes round, the next MOT cost, the servicing cost, the van insurance. Now, just for those of you that are aching to know what those sort of things are, I think it was the service and MOT, was a minor service and MOT was about £250, and the full-time living insurance is about £1,200. We pay that in one chunk, so you can sort of budget £100 a month for that. Now, I don't know how this is going to go or whether it's going to be of any use, but we're going to do it anyway. It'll be useful for us, even if it's, you know, just a bit of a guide for you. So I hope this is going to be useful. So stay tuned for all of the reports that we're going to do. I think I'm probably going to report at the beginning of each month for the previous month and tell you the sort of categories that we've got in, the amount of spend we're going through, and you know, so that will give you an idea, and we'll be able to compare the times when we're in Sweden, Germany, France, and then into Spain as we go on, and see how the costs vary and fluctuate throughout. Things like shopping, you know, when we total up a month's grocery costs in Sweden, for example, or Germany, how does that compare with France and Spain? How does a month in France compare with a month in Spain, for example? So I think it's going to be an interesting process, and I hope it's going to be of use to you. Anyway, that's it for this little video. If you found it interesting and useful, give us a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so that you get reminders whenever we upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye for now.